Hello everybody, it's Foster and I am back with another video. Today I'm going to be reading Borrow My Heart by Kasie West. Chapter 9. Sorry it's kind of late. I think next week, Wednesdays are busy. I think next week I'm gonna pre-record Wednesday's chapter. That way I don't have to record it after I get back home. But that's not your problem, so I don't know why I'm telling you that. Anyways, Borrow My Heart by Kasie West, chapter 9, and yeah, I'm just gonna get into it. Hope you've all had an amazing day, and enjoy. Chapter 9. Rule. Never date a liar. Dad, Zoe, and I sat at a small table in Olive Garden, like we did every year for his birthday. Zoe was doing the word search on the back of the kids' menu with a red crayon. Dad was studying his options like he wasn't going to get the same plate of lasagna he ordered every year, and I was checking out the post I'd made of Bean on the shelter's Instagram to see whether anyone had commented. There were 23 likes and only 2 comments. One just said cute, the other said, "Isn't this that mean dog from Adoption Day?" The shelter held Adoption Day once a month at different places throughout the city. If people didn't want to come to the shelter, we'd waive fees and bring the animals to them. Shopping at a farmer's market? How about taking home a sad dog with a bag of avocados? Giving a pin of blood? Maybe now you have room in your heart for an aging cat. There weren't many local events we didn't try to worm our way into. I narrowed my eyes at the second comment and deleted it with a jab of my finger. How's that for mean? Dad, Zoe said, moving a bag stuffed with tissue paper from the bench beside her to the table. Happy birthday. Oh, are we doing that now? I plopped my gift on the table too. Thanks, girls, he said. You didn't have to. Didn't we, though? Zoe said. What kind of daughters would we be if we didn't? Broke, I said. The broke kind. Don't expect too much. A talkative family walked by our table and was seated at a large one practically an arm's length away. The waitress arrived in front of us with a smile. You guys are ready to order? She noticed the gifts. Is it someone's birthday? Yes, it's our dad, Zoe said. You should sing to him later, I added. You really shouldn't, Dad said. Please. We won't, she said, then winked at me and Zoe, all but assuring us that she would in fact be singing to our dad later. Dad pointed to the photo on the menu. I'll have the classic lasagna. I want the fettuccine, Zoe said. I'll have the eggplant parmigiani, I said when the waitress looked at me. Super salad, she asked. Salad, Dad answers for us. Endless breadsticks, Zoe said. Of course, the waitress answered. The family next to us seemed to have gotten even louder in the last 2 minutes, laughing and talking over each other as if they shared every thought that came into their heads. The parents sat on one end of the table, and I counted 1, 2, 3. My parents paused. Asher. That was Asher. My eyes shot to the next person, and sure enough, it was Brett. Apparently, Asher's whole family was here. He had an older sister, it looked like, and an older brother. Then him and Brett. Asher was speaking at the moment, saying something about school, something that made him laugh. He laughed with his whole body, his face toward the ceiling, open, like he was. Thanks, Zoe, Dad said, bringing my attention back to our table where he was opening my sister's gift. It was a magnetic wristband to hold nuts and bolts and things while working. This is great. I shot her a look. She must have gone to the hardware store after the farmer's market. I did not do that. I thought we were both giving him farmer's market fines, especially considering the farmer's market had been her idea. Our dad moved onto my bag and began taking out the tissue paper. I heard you blocked your mom's number. I gasped, then elbowed my sister. Did you tattle on me? I didn't. Your mom told me, Dad said. Why did you block her? Because she would call every day for a week straight and then not call for 3 months. Sometimes she called late at night or in the middle of the day. She always forgot important dates or holidays. Blocking her allowed me to pretend like she didn't. Like I was not letting her call. Not that she was the one who wasn't calling. It gave me the control I needed. Because Ren is mean, my sister whispered in a teasing tone. It was a joke I'd heard before, but in this context, and coming from my people-pleasing sister, it stung. A basket of breadsticks appeared at our table, and I jumped a little, startled. Dad took one without a response to Zoe's comment, then continued to open my gift. A stupid gift, one I'd gotten at the farmer's market that had nothing my dad would actually like. I should have gone somewhere else, tried harder, stuck to my plan. I need to go to the bathroom, I said, standing and darting away from the table. It was obvious why I was fleeing, but neither my dad nor my sister would say a word about it when I got back. That's how the subject of my mom worked. My sister would defend her, my dad would remain neutral, and I came out looking like the irrational one. It was either that or jokes. We were good at joking away at anything uncomfortable. It was family tradition. Instead of just going to the bathroom, I went outside. I needed a dose of fresh air to relieve my burning cheeks. After a couple minutes of deep breathing the crisp air, a door opened behind. The door behind me pushed open. I turned, expecting to be surprised that my dad or Zoe had actually followed to check on me, but it was just a couple, leaving the restaurant hand in hand. I turned away and pulled out my phone. I went to settings and then blocked numbers. Hers was the only one on that list. I stared at it for several long moments and then finally clicked the unblock button next to her name. I swallowed hard. Ren? There was a tap on my shoulder. Asher had come outside without making a noise, because there he was, standing next to me. I'd nearly forgotten he was here. Hey, I tucked my phone away. I thought that was you, he said. What a coincidence. Yeah. You must have seen me inside, because you don't seem surprised at all. Oh, I did. I would have said hi when I gestured vaguely to the restaurant. Uh-huh, sure you would have, Asher teased, but I could tell his feelings were hurt. I couldn't handle his feelings right now. I was too busy dealing with my own. Your family is big. Yeah, they are, and loud. I'm sure that's just a result of the sheer number of them. That doesn't help. He lowered his brows, a look of concern taking over his face. You okay? No, not at all. My mother left us when I was only 10, and somehow I've become the bad guy in this scenario. For some reason, my dad refuses to have an opinion, and my sister expects me to play nice. We're supposed to be united front against her. She chose her life. She can't have it both ways. What would Mr. Big Happy Face think of that speech? Fine, just hot, is what I really said. Did you see that stupid comment on Bean's post? Yeah, I deleted it. Asher opened his mouth and shut it again. I didn't know you could do that. You didn't know comments could be deleted? I didn't know you held that kind of power, he said. I laughed, which felt nice. I'm pretty high up at the shelter. Speaking of Bean, I thought of a social media idea that might generate some buzz. Generate buzz, I said with a smile. You sound like a marketing professional or something. Well, it is what I want to do. You want to be a marketing professional? I was dying to see his social media now. It was probably so good. Too bad he thought I already knew, or I'd ask him what his online handle was. I know, so aspirational, he said. What does your son want to be when he grows up? A doctor, a pilot? No, better. He wants to go into marketing. Nothing wrong with marketing. It seems everyone needs that these days, and knowing what you want is huge. It was more than I knew about my future at the moment. I do know what I want, he said in a lowered voice. My heart seemed to stutter at the comment. I ignored it. Maybe you should take over the shelter's Instagram. I have some ideas, but I'm not going to take that power away from you. I don't have the guts to delete mean comments without a second thought. I'd probably spend my time responding, trying to change their mind, or giving other commenters the chance to refute it. How do you know I didn't have a second thought? I asked. Did you? I shake my head. That's what I thought. Because I'm mean, I said. What? No. I said the comment was mean, not you. I waved my hand through the air. I know, just a joke. Asher seemed to sense it hadn't been. Confident and mean aren't the same thing, Ren. You think I'm confident? His hazel eyes met mine. You are. For all I knew, he was talking about Gemma. He hardly knew me, after all. Gemma probably said confident, profound things all the time. My phone buzzed in my hand. A text from my sister. Salad here. I jerked my thumb over my shoulder. I should go eat. I should go order, he said. We walked in side by side over the cream-colored Fuller tiles with grape accents. Not the color grape, the fruit. A bunch of grapes were painted on every fifth tile. Had someone hand-painted those, or were the tiles sold that way? His family loomed in the distance, all smiles and lively conversation. They looked so animated next to my family. My dad and sister seemed frozen, like a poorly connected FaceTime call. I suddenly stopped. Asher took 2 more steps before turning to look at me with a quizzical expression. I'm not your girlfriend, I said. It came out ruder than I meant it to, but my mind had jumped forward to being introduced to his family at the end of this walk. I mean, for when I meet them, I'm not. Was I making this worse? It wasn't like he'd ever implied I was. I'm glad we met, and I want to keep getting to know you, but I wanted to be completely honest. Start over. not try to straddle this line of being me and some girl I didn't know. Hey, Asher said, leaning forward a bit so his eyes were level with mine. It's fine. I like how things are too, but we can remain titleless. I nodded and took a deep breath. Thank you. Asher, his sister called when we reached the table. We ordered for you because you were taking too long. Cool, he said. What did I get? It'll be a surprise, she said. Even better. Did he mean that? I would not like that kind of surprise. Everyone, he said, this is Gemma, his mom asked, eyes going from mildly interested to fully engaged. Is this her? So nice to meet you. Her name is Rin, Mom, Asher said. Rin. She looked at Asher's dad. Was that always her name? I thought her name was Eleanor, his dad said. Asher sucked air between his teeth, making the smallest noise, which only I heard. I gave his hand a short squeeze. We don't speak that name, Dad, Brett called out. Seriously, his sister said. Speaking of sisters, my eyes darted to my table. Sure enough, my sister's attention had turned our way. She had a questioning tilt to her head. My dad was preoccupied, dishing salad onto his plate. I'm sorry, Asher mumbled. Then louder, he said, This is my family. My mom, Corey, my dad, Timothy, that's Leah and Robbie, and you already met Brett, he finished, pointing to his siblings. Hi, everyone, I said. We heard you were a world-class dungeon master, Corey said. What now? I asked. We heard you were joining the D&D champion tomorrow with Asher's friends. Did I get that wrong, too? She asked, eyes wide and on Asher now. No, Mom, she is. World-class? Brett asked. Is there a worldwide ranking system for D&D? All eyes were on me now, waiting for a response. I had no clue what they were even talking about. Guys, leave her be or she won't want to come back tomorrow, Asher said. Who knew you'd find a girl who liked D&D as much as you do, his sister said. My sister's face was contorted with confusion. She was probably just as lost as I was. Yep, D&D forever, I said. Asher chuckled beside me. Please join us, Corey said, moving toward another table, ready to pull an empty chair over. That's okay, I said quickly. I'm with my family. I shouldn't have gestured when I said it because the whole table was calling out hellos to my dad and sister. Unlike Asher's family, who had heard so much about me, well, Gemma, I hadn't said a word to about Asher to anyone except Camilla. I'm sorry, Asher said, seeming to recognize my overwhelmed expression without having seen it before. We should join our tables together, Corey said. Mom, Asher said in a loud but friendly voice. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to let them eat in peace. I gave them the stiffest smile and slinked away to my table. What was that about? Zoe asked, raising her eyebrows. He's a volunteer at the shelter, I said, because that was really the only thing I could say. Thanks for my gift, Bird, Dad said, holding up a leather-bound journal stamped with his initials. Why had I gotten him that? My dad wasn't one to sit around writing down his innermost thoughts. You don't have to use it, I said. I will, he assured me. No, but really, Zoe persisted. Who are those people? Since when do you play Dungeons and Dragons? That's what D&D stood for? I was screwed. Since tomorrow, I guess. A small group of waiters came over with our food and a slice of chocolate cake with a lit candle on top. They sang Happy Birthday badly to our dad, who looked like he wanted to melt into the floor. Asher's family joined in, saving the song, but causing our dad's cheeks to redden even more. Are they for real? My sister asked, eyes scanning Asher's table. Very real. And that is the end of chapter 9. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you tomorrow, probably a little bit later as well, because I am doing, I'm doing driver's ed tomorrow. I'm very excited about it. But, so, my chapter will probably be a little later. But I will post. So don't worry. Anyways, that is the end of chapter 9. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you tomorrow with the next one. Bye!